chicks free? Never. Do not believe the song. You can believe Mark Knopfler's story about writing the song. Do not get sucked into the Cliff Notes version of chicks for free.
Despite the name Dire Straits, the British rock group is no longer a band in need. For the first time in 5 years, Dire Straits is on tour in this country and packing the house in every city they've hit. New York City's Radio City Music Hall is this week's stop. Lead singer Mark Knopfler has joined us this morning. I appreciate that very much because I want to tell people about your schedule. You started a tour in May that won't conclude until March of '86, 11 months, 25 countries. Why'd you do this to yourself?
Well, I think you've got to be a bit of a nut to to do this. You've got to be in love with it, I think. This tour is about 14 months and about 220 odd shows at the moment. Maybe it'll be about 250 by the time we finished. Everybody wants to see us, and we like to play. We always have a good time when we play.
Yeah.
It's like having an excuse to have a party every night.
Well, everybody wants to see you now. I mean, almost like you've just come out of the woodwork, but you've been around so long. Why only now is everything coming up roses?
Well, that's the story in the States. I think that's just to do with having a very successful record in a particular country at a particular time. But we've been very successful all over the world for about 7 years now, so we've been in a lot of demand all over the place. So we might be in New Zealand 1 minute, or Australia 1 minute, and then in Japan the next, or in...
You're talking about the success. Let me note that your album Brothers in Arms has been #1 for 5 weeks. The hit single Money for Nothing been #1 for 2 weeks. I mentioned both of those because you've always been a gentleman who says, the heck with the commercialism of this and the heck with the success of it, let's make good music. I mean, do you find it a little embarrassing to be atop the charts?
No, I think that, I mean, if this is your game, then obviously it's great to have... The idea is to get the music out to as many people as possible, so everybody's very happy about it, and we're having a great time touring here.
Before I take a look at the video Money for Nothing, which takes a bit of a swipe at MTV and a bit of a swipe at rock stars, why don't you set it up for me? Tell me how it came to pass.
Well, I was in this appliance store, I think you would call it, in New York City. It's the kind of place that has a custom kitchen display in the window with a table and chairs, which is actually where I started writing the song, in the window of the store.
You heard two guys inside talking?
Yes, there was one guy in particular who in America you would call him like a hard hat mentality kind of thing, and he was sounding off against a wall of TVs, which were all tuned to the music station. And he was just commenting on the acts which were appearing. And I had to sneak up on him. I had to go up behind this line of microwaves. There were sort of alleys, and I had to sneak through a little hole and get really close, and then I had to go and borrow a piece of paper and a pen and start writing the song.
He didn't know that he was the inspiration for a #1 song, Money for Nothing. Let's take a look. Steve Rosen, help me out. When you left the electronics store, did you know you had a hit?
No, but there is a sense sometimes when you're writing, which is a really nice moment when there are certain elements there and you're conscious of those elements all being there to make a song.
You've been very adamant about saying Dire Straits is a band. This isn't some star trip. I mean, is that what most rockers are about, a star trip?
Yeah, I think when you're a little kid, you really want to be in a band, and you're playing on a tennis racket, and you haven't got a guitar, and all you want to do is be in a band. And that's what I've always wanted, and that's what's happened.
Let us note that you're also a writer. I mean, you wrote Private Dancer for Tina Turner, you produced albums for Bob Dylan, some other things. You've written a movie score, so I mean, you're spending your time. Yeah, you've been busy. You also brought this along?
Yes, I'd just like to tell people about that. It's a Live Aid book, and it's packed with sizzling pictures, right?
Yes.
200 pages of them, and it's going in the stores from today, I think. It'll probably take a few days to get everywhere, and obviously all the proceeds are going in the right direction.
It's hardly a commercial message because it is for charity. It's good seeing you. Thank you. Continued success.
Thanks for having me.
I mean that very seriously. 8:44. We'll come back in just a moment, right after these messages.
Thanks for watching Cleveland Live Music. It's awfully bright out here. I'd click on another one of my videos. Quit looking into the sun. Your mother told you not to do that. Please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel more, there's GoFundMe and Patreon information in the video descriptions. Ooh, ooh!